Man, this show just feels so short every week. It's definitely a show that I would really love to be binging instead of watching week to week. But, anyways, I'm Keegs. How's it going, everybody? Today we are going to be talking episode 4 of Moon Knight. So, that's going to be your warning for spoilers as well, because we're going to be talking about everything that happened in the episode. So, stay tuned and let's get into it. So we get a good look at how many gods have actually been sealed away at the beginning of this episode, and frankly, I do not feel very bad for Amit anymore, seeing that she was sealed away like boo-hoo, you and like 2/3 of the other gods out there. I feel that this episode was very Layla-centric, and we got a good look into her backstory a bit further, and we got that awesome scene of her fighting a mummy, which came straight out of a horror movie. She was actually able to kick some ass in this too, and I thought it was really awesome to see that she wasn't just another damsel in distress and a plot point for Mark to always be saving her. And you saw in this that she can clearly take care of herself. And I thought it was a little lame that Steven just kind of left her there. He said, "We'll meet up or I'll find you," but he didn't do that at all. He went straight to the mummy, and then she found him after he was just like, "Whoa, this is so cool." They also never explain any of the magic behind that weird zombie dude, and, he was alive, but, or zombified, and he was just kind of walking around. And granted, there wasn't a lot of downtime in the episode for our characters, but at no point were they ever like, hold up, wait a minute, that's an actual zombie. Even after she kicked it down that pit, she still was just like, all right, time to move, let's go. Now she's thinking about her father, but like, how can that not, seeing that not trump thinking about your father? It just seems pretty crazy to me, because that's a literal zombie. But I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe there's so much magic in this world at this point that it just bounces off them at this time. They're never like thinking about the specifics, where did the zombie come from? Who put it this way? Is there somebody else making more people like this? Are there more zombies in the pyramid? Like, can it turn other people into zombies? I don't know. Maybe I just have these questions because I'm watching it from the outside, but to them, they're like, you know what? This is another Tuesday in the MCU. Arthur Harrow had a great conversation with Layla too, and you can definitely understand, I think, now about how and why people listen to him, because it really feels like he's listening to you and he's telling you the truth, and he never seems to lie to you. So it's really easy to kind of be lulled into thinking that he's on your side, and he says he's always trying to help you, and it kind of feels that way. So it's easy to understand how these characters can be drawn into it, but I definitely think that it's all pretty much just an act, a means to an end to get what he wants, ultimately. Layla confronts Mark about him killing her father, and I guess technically he did not kill her father, but he was there, and her father was there because of him. And I guess his partner just went all psycho and then killed everybody, including Mark. And I guess that's when Khonshu found him and brought him back to life. And it does clarify that he met Layla after he was already Moon Knight. He was going to tell her, but ended up falling in love with her instead, I guess, so he just never came up. Seems like they weren't married actually for very long then, if he didn't meet her till after becoming Moon Knight, and he's only been Moon Knight for like a year, so I guess within that year they met, fell in love, and got married, and then subsequently filed for divorce. I mean, at this point, I think it's an annulment. I'm also not sure if Mark forcefully took over the body from Steven when Layla was asking about her father, or if they just kind of freely flowed in between the personalities. And I kind of lean towards the latter, where they just started to flow a little bit, and it was like almost subconsciously they switched. It wasn't like a long drawn out thing, I didn't feel like. And I think that points to them becoming more comfortable with each other and relinquishing power to one another when it better serves them as a whole. So I think they're definitely starting to get at least those two personalities to work in sync and really appreciate each other's talents. Alexander the Great was also confirmed as the original avatar of Amit that betrayed her and ended up sealing her away. So Steven was able to use his brain and piece together all the maze and riddles and everything and where the statue was, and then he got shot subsequently by Arthur Harrow at the end, but not before taking out a few guys in a pretty awesome manner, if I do say so myself. He wakes up in a mental hospital and he keeps seeing all this stuff that reminds him of the real world, but he really can't tell what's real and what's not, and if he's going crazy or anything like that. And then eventually he escapes and finds Steven in a coffin, and he frees Steven from the coffin. And then they're trying to run and escape, and they see a third coffin. And then Mark just kind of is like, oh, yep, there's a third coffin, let's keep going. And Steven's like, wait, hold up, who's that in there? And they meet a hippo god at the end, and that's the episode. I believe that third coffin is Jake Lockley, which is a third personality of Moon Knight from the comics. And he is traditionally a very violent personality, which is the person that probably killed all those people in the previous episode. But Mark wants to keep him sealed away, and, it kind of makes you wonder if Mark had kind of a traumatic childhood that led to him splitting his personality to, protect himself and stuff. So I wonder if we're going to get any more insight as to why he has multiple personalities, or if they're just going to kind of be like, yep, and he's got multiple personalities, and that's just his nature. Anyways, I think they're going to have to let Jake out of the coffin in order to escape the prison of his own mind. And I think that's how we're going to get introduced to the third personality, because that guy's just going to straight up bust out and probably wake up. And, now that I think about it, he was shot, he's dead, now he's in a, mental prison. But I guess that means Khonshu still has to be supplying him some kind of power because he's not dead. And I think that maybe if Khonshu left entirely, he would go back to being a corpse, but clearly he was shot there and he's not dead. I mean, I say clearly, but nothing's really that clear. But we know that gods can supply power even from their tiny statue forms. And we know this because of Amit and Arthur Harrow, because he has power. And he seems like he actually has a lot of power, though I think part of that has to do with all the large followers he's given to Amit, which is now making her more powerful, therefore making him more powerful. So he's more powerful than Steven and Mark right now. But I do think at some small level, they probably still have a connection to Khonshu, which is keeping them alive. So 2 episodes left, and it really makes you wonder, how are they going to wrap everything up in 2 more episodes? Or more likely, what are they going to leave for season 2? But let me know. What do you think? What's happening next? How are they going to get out of this pickle? But I'm Keegs, and I will catch you all next week for episode 5 of Moon Knight.